Guys, we're back with another episode of the Road to Rip podcast. My name's Christopher Walker. I'm here with Greg O'Gallagher.
No. Hold on a second now. All right, now it's Matthew McConaughey here today. Now Greg's not here now.
Matt, I gotta tell you, I watched that Dark Tower movie last night.
Right.
I mean, it was okay. It wasn't that great.
No. Hold on now. No. Dark Tower is the best movie in the world. Nah, you know that. I know now. Everyone knows it. No. My shirt didn't come off. That's why.
Your shirt did not come off, not once. And I didn't. There was no story development on the Man in Black.
All right. Now I told the director. I said, look, we're gonna do a lot better if I take my shirt off for this scene. And he said, Matt, this isn't the role. And I said, forget the role. We got to make a movie here. I don't know if that was my.
We gotta sell some seats.
We gotta sell.
No wonder the box office is
hold on.
Matt
I said,
McConaughey doesn't take his shirt off anymore. He's got too many Oscars for that now.
I said, no. Hold on, Mr. Director. We want to make a hit movie. You better take my shirt off. You better give me the chance to say, all right.
He should have at least said it. He should say it in every single movie of some kind. Like some place, he's like, all right.
All right. You know where the origin of all right came from?
What do you mean? Dazed and Confused?
But you know why?
No, why?
So he was getting into state for his character, and in the scene he was in his muscle car, and so he was thinking, okay, like, where's my character at right now? What is my character about? What am I? Is he into? And so he's like, my character's about 4 things: fast cars, rock and roll music, getting high, and getting chicks. Yeah. So he's so he was like this. All right, now it's like no, I'm sitting in my Mustang. I'm listening to rock and roll music. I'm getting high and I'm about to meet some girl. So I said, all right. That's the story, man.
All right.
I'm working on that Matthew McConaughey. I want to have a repertoire of accents for this show.
Yeah.
So I can be like, wow, what's going on? We're having a ball. So I got the Owen Wilson, I got the Christopher Walken, and my next one I'm trying to get is the Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Solid.
It's not bad. Now, what accents are you working on, Chris? Robert Downey Jr.?
I should work on, like, the Greg O'Gallagher accent.
The Greg O'Gallagher.
Yeah.
It's intermittent fast. You got to do black coffee. Intermittent fasting.
Wow. It's Greg O'Gallagher.
That's like Owen Wilson meets me.
Yeah.
My voice is a hybrid now. So this episode, we're going to be talking about, this is actually a very important episode because this is going to actually help you in achieving any goal you have, whether it's in fitness, so on and so forth. So many people, they feel stuck in their life. They feel like, oh, I'm working towards something, but I'm not really seeing any results. And a lot of times it's your own mind that gets in the way.
It's always your own mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% of the time. But the biggest issue is what we're going to talk about today. This is by far the biggest thing. It's like,
is it that I didn't take my shirt off?
Yeah.
All right, now I'll take my shirt off.
Well, the thing is like, if someone, wouldn't you agree, right? If somebody is doing what we're about to talk about, they will never get anywhere else.
I see it. There's a very, very, very clear difference between how successful people act and people that never can catch a break. There's clear differences.
And it all comes down to exactly what we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah. So you guys got to listen carefully as we go into this episode. Have an open mind. If you're doing some of these things we're talking about, that's perfectly okay. Just accept it, and then we'll show you how to actually move beyond it. Yeah. So don't be listening all like without with a closed cup, with a full cup.
Yeah. Be open to moving forward,
because
if you're doing the things that we're about to talk about, it's very likely that you are going to, if you don't have an open mind, be offended and not move just by literally the nature of the way that what we're about to say, like the way that you are acting.
What the common criticism you'll get from someone that has this mindset, that has the victim mentality, is, oh, it's easy for Greg and Chris to act all, do all this because they're silver spoons, or
not.
No,
yeah. But yeah. Okay, so here's the deal: destroying the victim mentality. Yeah. Basically, the victim mentality is literally the number one. It's like the first step that is the major difference between anybody who's successful at anything and those who aren't. And it's literally the difference between people who achieve their dreams and do exactly what they want to do, live the life the way they want to live it, versus all the bajillions of other people out there that just complain about shit. It seems like nothing good ever happens to them, and it all just literally comes down to their own decision. It's a choice. It's a difference between people that are successful and people that aren't.
Well, here, I'll tell a little story quickly that kind of really summarizes this, because this kind of thing got very, very quickly crystallized for me at relatively a young age. And my father's the person that, to me, epitomizes the person that was the conqueror, just achieved everything he set his mind to, just had massive amounts of success against virtually all odds, starting, in Montreal, dropping out of university, coming from having no backing, no one really believed in him, and then he built a massive company and all this stuff. But crazy enough, so his younger brother, James, great guy, awesome guy, really nice guy, but he has that victim mentality. And so so for the longest time, I always I felt sorry for James. Like, oh my God, James, he can never catch a break. Everything goes wrong. Everyone mistreats him. Everyone's like, he's just the deck is stacked against him. And I always, every time I'd see him, I always heard these stories. Oh, the people at work are screwing him, or, oh, he deserves this raise, but he's not getting it.
Yeah. So you thought the world was stacked against him based on what he told you,
which he told me. So as I was growing up in my teenage years, I always just felt, oh my God, poor James. And so every time he come in here and he get all like emotional, like, oh, this and this is not fair. And I was just like, we got a phone that's ringing here. Let's turn that one off. That's fine. Okay, cool. So then, I was getting sucked into his stories. I'm like, oh my God, like poor James, there's always something new. Oh, my mother won't even give me a little bit of money to help repair my car. And I was buying right into it. But then after I kind of started to work on myself, work on my own goals, work on my fitness, do a lot of research and reading, and starting to build, I'm like, James, shut the fuck up. I was like, dude, the reason everything's going wrong for you, the reason you can't catch a break is because you're just addicted to being a victim.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You love complaining. You love feeling wronged, pointing the finger at someone else. I mean, if you really did want to succeed, you would keep the power to yourself. You'd say, okay, you know what? The reason that I'm not happy, or it's not because my boss is being a dick. It's because I'm
choosing to be unhappy.
I'm choosing to be unhappy. Like, if I'm not happy, why don't I go do something about it? Why don't I go improve my skills? Why don't I have a conversation with someone? Why don't I go and find another job instead of saying, oh, you know what? I'm just like some leaf blowing in the wind with zero control over anything.
Yeah.
And then, one of the first steps to destroying the victim mentality, I think, is actually realizing that your life isn't that bad. Being grateful,
Oh yeah, it's massive.
Like, you're not in some village in Africa with just like zero,
But even people, here's the difference. Yeah. Even people that live in villages in Africa are happy.
Yeah.
There are people there that are perfectly happy. Yeah, mm-hmm. I've heard a bunch of stories of people that go on some kind of missions trip or something to go and like exert their influence over some random like poor underdeveloped area. When they get there and what they realize, they're like, wow, these people are actually happier than we are. Yeah. So it literally just comes down to a choice in an individual's head of whether or not they're gonna be a leaf in the wind, like you said, mm-hmm. or if they're gonna be a wolf over their own life. Like, come on, are you just gonna like follow people around? Are you just gonna be complaining about everything? Do you have an expectation that life is supposed to be fair? That's another big one. People just think life is supposed to be fair. Like, who the fuck said that? Mm-hmm. Where was that written down when you're born? Like, oh yeah, life has to be fair. No, when you take ownership over your circumstances, when you own it and you say, okay, I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for the fact that I'm unhappy right now. I'm responsible for the fact that I have no money saved, or I'm responsible for the fact that my relationships are in shambles and I have no friends. If you own that responsibility, then you can actually take a step forward to do something about it. Right. Yeah, it's this weird kind of phenomenon where when you're stuck in this victim thing, when you kind of feel like you're a hard done by person and things are going wrong and unfair,
you actually don't want to improve your situation, because that would contradict your identity you have.
Exactly.
So if if you feel like, oh, I'm getting screwed over, oh, I don't have any control, and then all of a sudden snap your fingers, everything's going great, that would completely destroy your worldview.
Yeah.
And so it can't happen.
Yeah, that's why most people stay in that mentality. Like, most people are in it in the first place. That's why you look on any like media and all this like crazy freaking shit going on, and it's all just all these victims. Like, oh, poor me, life's not fair. I need this special treatment. I need this. I need that. No, and it's like the masses feel this way. They are victims, and it, like you said, it contradicts their identity to be told otherwise. And that's why if you do tell them otherwise, they get pissed.
Yeah, really pissed. They get super
emotional, so illogical. It's crazy.
And the other thing is, like, they could look at other examples of people doing successful stuff, but they'll always have something negative to say about them.
Yeah.
Like, they can never give anyone credit either.
Well, and that's that's an interesting point, because like as you and I have gotten to like build ourselves, like create the stuff that we're doing, and just, you know, be out there, like conquering our own fears, owning our shortcomings and our successes. You start to get to know other people that are doing the same thing. Like, a lot of the most successful people that I know have just huge abundance mentality. Like, they aren't complaining about being, like, if something happens to them, they just see it as, oh, I got to learn from this, and I got to do it better next time, or I'm going to do this now because of that. There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's plenty of stuff out there, right? They just keep rolling forward, and things don't faze them. They don't get offended easily. Like, people rarely get offended who are successful. It's just this huge difference between the two groups of people. You know, they're like polar opposites.
It's pretty it's absolutely staggering. And so one of the other things, you know, you notice with these people is, actually, this is a great quote. I'll share it now, and it's like it's actually by Eckhart Tolle, but it summarizes this pretty well. Is that when you resent someone else's, or your resentment of someone else's success curtails your own success. In order to attract success, you must welcome it wherever you see it. So I see a lot of people, and I'll tell you this story is, you see a lot of people that just, whenever they see someone succeed, like, oh, they have that scarcity mindset, like, oh, screw him, like, you know, this and that.
There's
and then
no abundance,
they're always bashing it, and then they're not able to see opportunities. You know, me and Chris, we kind of, because we got an open-minded, like, we suck things in. If we see a cool opportunity, we'll capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to summer camp, like, when I was younger, or no, summer school. I just to get some extra credits, and I made friends with these other kids, these new kids, from kind of different parts of Canada, and went on, and I was chatting with them. But one thing I noticed that really, I was like, what are these guys talking about? Whenever, like, someone came up that was doing something awesome, maybe it was like someone really successful or some professional athlete, they'd be like, oh my God, he's so lucky. He's so lucky.
Lucky, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This person's worked really hard.
Yeah.
They worked super hard. Like, no, I didn't. They just got lucky. I'm like, what?
There's no.
What are you talking about?
There's no such thing. Like, people, I don't know. What is there some quote about luck being is like 98% hard work, or
yeah,
you know, and then 2% timing, something like that.
Yeah.
Where like, if you look at any professional athlete, there's no luck involved. There's plenty of people who are extremely talented who are not professional athletes,
right? Who
could potentially be, but they were the lazy ones. We all went to high school with these people, right? Like, they were like that superstar quarterback, superstar basketball player, whatever, who was freaking lazy, and then they never went anywhere.
Yeah,
they were good in high school. When they get any kind of real competition, they don't work hard, they don't bring it to the next level, and then they're just fucking garbage man in the hometown still. You know, like. That it's so common, it's crazy. So that there's no such thing as that luck that everyone's talking about. It's the same idea as, like, oh, life's unfair, life's not fair, like all this entitlement stuff, as if someone else has any, I guess, like, less ability to work hard than you do, or more ability.
And even if luck was a factor, then if it didn't happen in that field, with the hard work, the right mentality, the drive, the ambition, the will to succeed, they would have hit something else.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, for Bill Gates, he came in at a good time to get into, like, the computer business. But had that not been the right time for that, something else probably he would have done well at.
If Bill Gates would have, if he took that same guy,
yeah,
and
he was born 20 years later.
20 years later, yeah, he would have made Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like there's always it just comes down to you. It comes down to who you are, what you're gonna do. Like you look back, even thousands of years, there were people that were born and they would just do big shit. Like they would go, for example, we talk about Ragnar from Vikings. Like a real dude. They made a TV show about him, but he's this farmer. This guy just ended up like working and just doing everything that he didn't even ask for, like, but he just worked hard and he went after what he wanted. Eventually he becomes this legendary king, like the most legendary Viking king in history, from being a farmer. Like he wasn't born into some hierarchy or like, bourgeois family or whatever. He just literally like worked into it. And there's plenty of other people that did
some of the most successful people, they actually on paper look like they're the least likely to succeed. I mean, if you look at even Arnold Schwarzenegger coming into America with this Australian accent, this crazy last name, and wanting to be a movie star, everyone laughed at him. Like you're out of your head is in the clouds, and he made that work. If he was a victim, he'd be like, oh, I can't become a movie star because I have this thick accent, I have this stupid last name,
and I'm always coming in the gym,
and I'm too big. Like people think, I'm always in the gym, and even I think Bruce Lee's a very cool example because in the 1960s and 70s, the film industry was inherently it was all Caucasians. They didn't want to give a lead to an Asian. Yeah. They had like that negative portrayal of that, and so Bruce Lee refuse to be defined by that, and so he actually became one of the big. He had some of the biggest grossing movies. He was on this show called The Green Hornet, and they gave him this side character piece, and the viewers loved him more than the main character. They fell in love with Bruce Lee, and I think that the producers or the people that are running the show, they got offended. They were like, "Damn it, what the hell? This guy," which is stupid. It's like, what are you talking about?
They should have like
roll with it. Yeah. Build the show bigger. But so I think they cut him from it, and then he went and he did a few big movies that were massive success, like huge success. He inspired millions and millions of people from different ethnicities, Caucasians, Black people, Asians, and he made this huge impact. And he could have same thing. He could have been like, oh, I'm not going to become a movie star because I
the world's happening to me. I'm not happening to it.
I think he even left went to China for a few years to do some big movies over there, and he was a huge hit in China. But he was like, no, I want to conquer America, and he can't. And he made it happen. So if you tell yourself, you know what, the buck stops with me and only me. I'm in control of my world and my success. Once you really embody that belief, you can kick down any door.
Totally.
And this is one of the most important lessons you have to learn as a worldview to catapult you to success over the next couple months, the next couple years and decades.
Yeah. Another interesting thing is like, both of us have been in LA a bunch of times. I lived there for a really long time. You see it in that city out of any of them. Like the victim mentality is everywhere. But there's also the conqueror mentality. There's this huge dichotomy in Los Angeles between.
And it's funny because some of the people with the victim mentality, they have pretty good opportunities.
Oh, there's opportunity everywhere. Yeah. There's like more opportunity. You could look under any rock on the sidewalk in Los Angeles and there's an opportunity. Yeah. It's everywhere. But there's this, it's like this place, this physical location where you can see this demonstrated, the huge dichotomy between the two types of people in like massive amount. So that on one side, there's all these people that like move there like, oh, I'm going to be famous, but I need somebody to do it for me, basically. Yeah. Like I need to wait and be discovered and have someone like put me on. And I'm just gonna wait around.
Doesn't work. You'll never get anywhere at that moment. I see some of these people that they blew up on social media because they got some little handing, and then they want to take that and run with it and build a business, but they're waiting for the next person to put them on
to build their business for them. Yeah. It's like, yeah. And it doesn't do them any good by the fact that because there are some people that do get that like random thing that like, oh hey, do you want to be on this TV show? Sure, okay, boom, like, and then they get like massively famous, and then they're like left with their dick in their hand, like, oh shit, what do I do now? Because I didn't really like do anything to get that. I didn't build that, and so then they try and like do it again, but then they burn out. That's why you see a lot of celebrities end up just like diving downhill. Like they just vanish.
Well, I know someone that's his thing is like, and he's an actor, and his thing is like, oh, you know what, like they're not really giving any parts to white people anymore.
Oh yeah, I've heard this.
And I'm like,
are you kidding? It's like, have you seen a movie lately? Or any TV show?
I'm like, what? What? Okay. But if you tell yourself that limiting belief, if you make yourself the victim, you know what you're not doing? Let me just get really good.
Yeah, let me be the best actor.
Let me just get insanely good.
So they can't ignore me.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Be so good they can't ignore you.
Be so good. Let me go work on this thing. You know what? Right now, maybe no one's giving me anything, so let me give myself something and make something awesome.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of this, of like, oh, these girls, they're trying to become actresses, and they're just failing. So you know what? They're like, you know what? I'm tired of waiting for someone to give me a handout. Let me just make some cool little skits on Instagram or YouTube. Then they blow up. They get 1 million, 500,000, 1 million followers because their shit's so funny. And then guess what? Now they get whatever they want.
They get commercials. They get into shows and everything. Yeah.
But if they would have had the victim mentality, like, oh, like, no one really is noticing me. Like, no one's putting me on. If they would have told themselves that, they wouldn't have had. That wouldn't have been in alignment with taking action. Yeah. So they would have just been like, oh, screw this, like whatever. And also there's like an energy that when you have that victim mindset,
nobody wants to be around you.
It's like this stinky body odor that follows you everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because like anytime somebody, especially in LA, you can, like, if you're hanging out with cool people, we have got a lot of great friends in LA, like really, really cool people. But through that process of building those good friendships, a lot of other people came like kind of inject themselves into the mix, try and sneak in there, and then they don't last long. Like they don't if like even a couple minutes, because you're just like, well, who the fuck is this person? Like they're just trying to like leech off of us or get something or whatever, and they're not. They're the victim, like trying to come in, and then no wonder they keep reinforcing that victim thing in like reality, because you don't want to be around them. Nobody does. And it's like, of course, nobody wants to be around you, man, because you're so negative and you're just this weird energy everywhere, and you're dragging the vibe down of the whole group. So
exactly,
it's easy to learn. But then if you on the other hand, like if you and friends and like you guys are creators and like you do it and you take action, you overcome your fears, and you are out there because you own and take responsibility for your life, that's a much different type of energy. And it's really good to be around people like that. Like that's the kind of person I want to be around personally. Well, I love being inspired by the people that I'm around.
Yeah, I'll give a little story for myself just to kind of get more personal and everything. And it's like, when I was a kid, I felt like really small, because I was smaller in my school. I felt skinny, and I just kind of, sometimes you feel a little picked on. And like, I could just go and like feel like, oh, it's unfair. Everyone's so much bigger than me, like this isn't fun. But I took that and I got into working out. I got into like training, and I loved it. And then I became like the strongest in my grade, And also I remember when I was in school and everything, I just used to be really, really shy. I was like, oh, I'm so shy. I can't talk to a girl. I can't talk to any girls. My eyes water. My voice gets hoarse. And then when I could have been like, oh, it's no fair. Like everyone else could do this easily, and I'm like way too shy. I was like, you know what? Let me figure this out. I was like, because I mean, it's actually, and we're gonna get into advice to how do you fix the victim mentality. I mean, on one level, it's so damn simple. Ask yourself, do you actually want to have an awesome life? Do you want to achieve your goals? If you do, then realize you have power over your life.
Yeah. It's that simple.
It's that simple.
Own it. Be like, all right, I want a better life.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that's going to do it, because I'm the one that's fucking my life up right now.
Yeah. And you know what? I would even challenge, if you're kind of in this position where maybe you're like, I don't have a victim mentality, but you kind of think like, wait, everything, like I haven't really got, like something's off. I challenge you to say, I am responsible for everything in my life. The reason I'm not making the money that I want is my fault. The reason I don't have the body that I want is not because of my genetics. It's not because I'm unlucky. It's not because I can't afford to shop at Whole Foods. It's my fault. The reason I don't have the girlfriend or the dating life, the social life, the friends that I want It's not because, oh, everyone's dicks to me. It's my fault. Say it. I am completely responsible for my entire life. And the crazy thing is, to have the victim mentality, you really have to have a completely warped perception of the world. Because there's so many examples of people coming from like the most humble backgrounds with the world stacked against them and succeeding massively. So how can you see that and then feel so sorry about yourself?
You know, I saw a statistic. I think this is correct. 80% of millionaires in the U.S. are self-made. Came from zero.
Wow. Yeah.
And they built something.
Dude.
So how can somebody like look at a statistic like that and then be like, oh, I'm in this special situation that none of these guys were ever in?
Yeah. Dude, it pissed me off when I was in high school one time. This one kid that was in the school. He was a total loser. I'm just kidding. No, but I remember he was like, oh, like he was somehow it came up, something came up about like what we're doing later, whatever, and like, and then he just flat out like, oh, like yeah, no, I would like I'd love to be rich, but I can't. I'm like, oh, why not? He's like, oh, because my parents aren't rich. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Your parents are gonna make the money for you. Do it yourself. He's like, no, you have to have like your parents have to be successful. Like that's how it works. I'm like, what fucking world do you live in?
Yeah.
Are you literally? It's like a disease. It's like a psychosis.
Yeah. It's a big mental. It's probably the most common mental handicap.
Yeah.
Period. That's it. It makes no sense.
Makes
It's
zero
like
sense.
how many examples you hear over and over and over, and even in my own life too.
Mm.
Like my dad, similar to the way that your dad like built this awesome empire. My dad came out like my grandparents on his side are alcoholics, super poor. They lived on a dairy farm, grew up on a dairy farm, ran the kids ran the dairy farm, and it was just a bad situation. He built himself out of the whole thing. Went in the military, retired from the military, went into like educated himself, got 2 master's degrees and a PhD, computer science, engineering, like just crushing it. But he was told in high school, and that now he's like he's in line to be an executive in this huge military contracting firm now. But he was told in high school by his shop teacher. He only took shop classes in high school. He didn't even take math or English or anything. He only took shop classes. He was told by his shop teacher or one of his teachers, you'll never amount to anything. It's like the classic story, right?
Yeah.
And now has built a great family, built a nest egg, and is like killing it. But and then he showed his kids that that's possible, and now we're out there getting after what we want to do. And so like if he would have taken that mentality that kid that took, then he'd still be living on that farm. Yeah.
We're not living in the days with that
like a feudal system or something.
Yeah, where it's like, you ever seen A Knight's Tale when he has to get a fake name to become a knight?
Yeah.
That was an awesome movie.
That was a good movie.
That was a great. I love that movie, A Knight's Tale, with Heath Ledger. Oh, that was awesome. Sir William Wallace, and they find out, oh, he's the son of some poor guy.
Yeah.
And he pretends to be, oh, we should watch the movie tonight. Nice tale. What a great movie. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. But I guess the other thing to say on this is like, yeah, what are the steps that someone can really take to? I just had something pop up. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me in a second. But what are like the steps someone can really take to really kind of dissolve that?
I think it's exactly what you just said.
Yeah. Do you want to be successful? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Keep living in your dream, in your
fake world.
Your fake world. Do you want to be successful? Okay. Now here's what you got to do. Realize that, you're responsible for your life. When you see someone killing it, instead of saying, oh, that person's so lucky, or oh, that person had all these opportunities or whatever, be like, dude, learn from it. Because when you're bashing someone else, you can't learn from them. And the best way to really get ahead is to look around what's happening, learn from people that are doing successful things, and find out why. Why is this person doing well? I'll get 2 types of comments sometimes. Some people are like, oh, like, Greg, so easy for you to be successful and build this fitness company because of your wealthy parents or your wealthy family. okay, well, did they build my fitness site for me?
No.
Did they make the videos? Did they like, this was something that was inside of me that I wanted to share. So it's, and then, but then other people would be like, oh my God, like, you know, it's so impressive, like, Gregory, that like, you know, even though you came from this wealthy family, you know, you had like, you know, potentially you could have gone and tried to work up in the fields that my family was involved in. I carved my own path. I took a risk. I didn't want to, you know, I dropped out of school, and I had this passion to do fitness, and, you know, some people, you can see things kind of two ways in a way. You know, and so in one way you can learn from it and get inspired from it. The other way, you just kind of, you keep yourself suppressed, being like, oh, this person, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And the most successful people you know, they're never haters ever.
No,
never haters.
Never. And even people that totally like especially in like the YouTube world and the health stuff, like everyone on, we were talking with Vince about this the other day, right? So there's a lot of different, in our online world, there's a lot of different competing views on stuff, like, oh, this diet and that diet and this and that and whatever, you know. And it's all the people that are like following this stuff. There's a lot of people that are the hater types that just assume that, like, we don't hang out with each other or whatever because of our like a diet viewpoint or something. But you know, at the same time, like, the people that are out there, you have respect for people. Like, I have tons of respect for anybody. It doesn't matter what their viewpoint is, what their religion is, whatever. Anyone who's out there and like putting themselves out there, making themselves vulnerable in front of tons of people, and just like going after their dream. Like, when you're at that level with other people, like, everyone's cool together. Nobody acts like a dick. Yeah. And nobody acts like a victim. Nobody has that. Everyone's got the abundance thing. Oh man, good job with your channel or with your business. Like, looks like it's going awesome. I like what you're doing here. Nobody ever acts like a hater to each other. It's only the victims like acting like a hater on other people. Especially weirdly on people that are like out there trying to pursue their dreams, giving free value to other people, like information, sharing what they love. And then these fucking haters come around, these victims, and they're just hating on them. They're bashing them.
You know what's funny? If they were to peel back a layer and say, you know what? Why do I resent this person so much that's out there putting themselves on the internet and sharing something? You know, why? Like, if you peel back a layer and just say, why do I resent them so much? It has nothing to do with them. It's all about you. Yeah. It's something with, and it's because this person putting themselves out there, they're throwing themselves out there. You know what it makes you? It makes you feel, fuck, I'm not doing anything. Shit. So then to make yourself feel content doing nothing, not taking any risks, you have to hate on them.
You have to rationalize to yourself why what they're doing is worse than what you're doing.
Exactly. But the empowering thing to do is like, wow, that person's really putting themselves out there. Maybe they're not even, you know, and maybe someone's putting themselves out there and maybe their videos are questionable, you know. Even still, like, look, that person, you know, because sometimes I'll see these new people coming on, and it's like, you know, they're not there yet, but that's fine. Just throw yourself out there, and you learn along the way. And that's here's what I was going to say. When I said I forgot what I was going to say at a certain point. Like, sort of this victim mentality can manifest in a lot of ways, and one of the things you see is, you know, someone, they might have a little bit of that victim mentality. It's not, maybe some of it's gone, but it's not fully gone. So what ends up happening is that they're like, okay, I'm gonna go and do this and this and this and this, but they never take action. They're always like, okay, I'm gonna start that website.
They're like 1 foot in.
They're 1 foot in. When I come up with the right name, just, you know, and I've had people, I've kind of tried to mentor people, and there's the people that take action right away, that actually end up doing good stuff, and there's people that there's always some reason why. There's always something they're waiting for. Oh, like, I'll finish this when I finish the semester.
Or when this person, or when I catch a break with this, or when I have this much money saved,
or I'm not going to start my fitness site till I get to 4% body fat.
Oh yeah, exactly. Till I get to, like some unreasonable goal.
I'm like, then even if I get there, there's always some other thing. Okay, wait, no, I need to.
No, I'm not big enough.
I gotta go do this course on writing, so my writing is good. Or I gotta go. Yeah, I'm not big enough. Yeah. And it's like, dude, you're just not gonna do it. You're not going to do it. If you're going to do it, you do it right now, because you'd be so excited about building something, you couldn't wait.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so damn, this was some heavy stuff.
So that's it. So I'd say let's recommend actually for the action steps now.
Yeah.
Doing, what we just said, talking to yourself that way. Like, it's my fault. The reason where I am right now is my fault. But let's give people some books to read.
Yeah.
I think books are the most powerful thing that you can do if you're really trying to work on yourself.
And Chris and I, we actually might make our own course at some point. We talked about this. Mastering your mind.
Master your mind. Yeah, I would love to make that course. So
solid.
Yeah. But based on now, what's the name of that Eckhart Tolle book that has that in it?
Yeah, one that really helped me was Power of Now. And that the Power of Now is super complete. And it really, when you dissolve that ego and you're able to kind of get more in touch with reality, then you're no longer trapped by your mind and your mind's limiting beliefs. So that one was really powerful. I actually recommended that one to my uncle, and so then there's one chapter on illness, not making an identity of your illness. And so people have the tendency.
People do that with diseases all the time.
People
like these fake diseases.
The diseases, and then because once you make your disease part of your identity, it actually gets more trapped.
Oh yeah.
But
you see people actually. I've heard stories of people that with cancer.
Yeah.
That talk about how, like, the power of not identifying with the cancer can help them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think in that book it talks about, okay, just surrender to what is right now. Maybe you feel discomfort. Maybe you feel this. Maybe you feel tired. Just accept what is in the moment. Don't attach your identity to this. Oh, I'm this person, or just surrender to the moment. Be in the moment, and then it's because it's like he talks about pain and suffering. Suffering is mind created. So if you're suffering from something, it's because it's the mind doing all the work, right, and like giving all these negative thoughts. So I think my uncle told me he got to this chapter, got pissed off, like, damn it, I hate this shit. What an asshole. He's like, it got so angry, and it's funny because he was telling me, he's like, in like Eckhart Tolle in the book, in the audiobook, he's like, is what I'm saying making you angry right now? Uncle James like, yeah, it is. But that's the victim mentality. When you're so heavily deep ingrained in the victim mentality, it's hard to get out of it. And so you have to really, really want to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
You got to be really, and for some people, it's tricky to get out of that kind of get unstuck, really.
Yeah.
But for me, when I went through that one, like, I'm very focused on achieving my goals. I just want to be happy, live my best life, achieve my goals. So when I was reading some of the stuff, I'm like, fucking absolutely, I love it. I'm like, absolutely, So
yeah.
So if you read that book, be aware that, like, you know what? If you're really strongly identified with your ego and you've got that heaviness of your ego there, and you're like, oh, everything's unfair and this and that, and then like, wait, what? How can I be at peace with this? Then it's like it's gonna hit empty ears.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one book. That's a good book recommendation. You guys should check that one out. And then
what's one of yours? Yeah.
Okay, so I have two.
Okay, sick.
So the first one is called The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. Big ass book.
Awesome.
And it's like front to back, fucking conclusive. If you follow what's in that book, you'll be successful.
Right.
That's it. And then the other one,
how does that one compare to his other book?
It's better than Think and Grow Rich.
Really?
Way far better than Think and Grow Rich.
So the Law of Success?
Law of Success.
And
I don't even know why no one's ever heard of it. Yeah, no one's ever heard of it. It's like one of those books that just slides under the radar.
Shit.
But so Law of Success, and then A Pocket Mirror for Heroes by Baltasar Gracian, who is like the most badass philosopher on earth. And he's dead.
Pocket Mirror for Heroes. Wow.
Yeah, 16th century Jesuit monk. He is more Machiavellian than Machiavelli. He just gets straight to the point. Talks about it, like everything that he writes is just wisdom, and he adheres to all that. Like the Shakespeare read a lot of his stuff. He adheres to what Shakespeare talked about, where he's like, brevity is the soul of wit. Where you keep, like, the people that can distill an idea down to be very short, generally they're far more wise, right? Because they don't have a bunch of fluff. So that's what everything he writes is just like a paragraph or a sentence.
I love it. I'll check that one out too.
Powerful. It's awesome.
I'll give one more book, and I'll have a funny kind of note. And it's Success Principles Solid by Jack Canfield. Very, very, very good book on
He's the chicken soup guy, right?
Yeah, very good book. But it's funny. You ever notice that on most really solid like self-help success books, like the first chapter is take responsibility?
Yeah.
You notice
Always,
that?
yeah.
It's always like the first step is take responsibility. And that's why, because if you don't destroy this victim mentality, you're not going to get ahead.
You won't do anything. You can't, you literally cannot do anything if you don't get rid of that.
Yeah, that's pretty much. There's one other thing I was going to say. What was I going to say? I don't know. That was pretty complete. Yeah, those books are awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much. I think is there anything else you want to say here?
No, I think we're good.
Oh, you know what? The last thing I want to say is on the topic of destroying the victim mentality, it would also come to that as destroying the people in your social circle that have the victim mentality.
Yeah, getting rid of people.
Yeah, toxic people, because that will affect you.
Yeah, good point.
When I'm around my homies that are like killing it, they're awesome, they got good mindsets, my brain hits a higher frequency.
Yeah.
My brain opens up and I got more ideas and successes. When Chris and I get together, a lot of times we come up with amazing ideas and stuff. That said, when I'm around certain people where it's very negative, you can hear their voice. It's like where they're so hard done. Oh, it's not fair. Like you hear the ego coming out. Like that energy is not good for you either.
Yeah.
So you have to get out of that circle. And then when you come to new circles with people that are much more awesome and badass, you can't bring your shit because they're gonna tell you to fuck off.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it really is like a vibrational thing. Like you gotta be on that. When you're on that higher wavelength, you never want to drop from that.
Right.
And that's where something like a mastermind is so important. That's actually the first law of success in Napoleon Hill's law of success.
Get into a solid mastermind.
Harness the power of the mastermind. It doesn't have to be a business mastermind, but it's the idea that when two or more people get together with a common goal, like-minded goal, that they can elevate their game and
absolutely
their vibrational energy. Like they're just on another wavelength now. So find people, whatever you're interested in pursuing, whether it's a hobby or your business or your career, becoming better at that thing, or your fitness even. Find other people that are like-minded and are in a similar situation, or they are better than you at that thing, and you'll elevate to that person's level. That's why I always search out. Wisdom's the most expensive thing because it requires time. It's invaluable. It's worth way more than money, right? So find wisdom, and the way to find it is from people that have already done something that you want to do. So find them. In the mastermind could even be something like listening to this podcast. You're sitting here with the two of us. We're talking to you and with you, sitting here, and hopefully that's helping like elevate that vibrational energy in your head, and you're like, oh shit, now I got stuff to do. I'm opening up my mind to these new opportunities, this new way of thinking, this new way of breaking into a better version of myself. And so this could be, maybe there's not a lot of resources around you right now, but at least you're listening to us right now, and we could be your mastermind right now. First step.
Exactly. Just listen to this. Boom, is amazing. So guys, really, really hope you enjoyed this episode. Amazing stuff. If you haven't started your fitness journey, go to kinojourney.com. You can use my physique quiz, and I'll get you the right program for you and help you build that lean, chiseled physique. And man, if you enjoyed this, then make sure to share this episode. There's actually a way to text the episode to your friends.
Yeah, if you go into your iTunes app or your Stitcher or Google Play app,
you can hit share.
Hit share. Shoot a text. Shoot to your group text.
This is one that people are going to share like crazy. I can already tell. Yeah. The last time we did this episode, it got so much feedback.
The most popular
but
one.
This one we did today was even more badass.
Oh, it's definitely better because we're now, we've had 5 more years of wisdom.
Yeah. 5 more years of wisdom and everything. So definitely share this around and start to help get your close friends, get them on that same wavelength. Yeah. Get them on that,
Bring those people up that you care about. Bring them up to this, let's go to a different level together.
Absolutely. I'm even going to, I'm going to make sure to share this one myself.
Me too.
All right, see you guys.
All right, later.